The control room of Skyline Tech Solutions in downtown Atlanta was in chaos. Red warning screens flashed endlessly, alarms blared in rapid succession, and the 20 white male engineers on duty were frantically typing, arguing, and shaking their heads in disbelief. 3 hours earlier, a critical system crash had frozen operations for dozens of clients, halting transactions worth millions. "Come on, someone solve it now," barked Jeffrey Alden, the company's chief technology officer. A man in his early 40s with a neatly trimmed beard and the kind of confidence that only a hefty salary and years of experience can buy. His voice carried across the room, sharp as a scalpel. "If you're so smart, prove it." The engineers doubled down, checking logs, rebooting servers, and debating every possible root cause. But nothing worked. The tension was suffocating. And then the door opened. Malik Thompson, 22, a black delivery boy working for 3apps, stepped in quietly, carrying a thermal backpack slung over his shoulder. He wasn't supposed to be there. He was just dropping off the lunch ordered by Jeffrey himself. He froze for a moment, eyes scanning the chaotic room, until his gaze landed on the main screen. The red error code blinked mockingly at him. Without thinking much, Malik muttered under his breath, almost as if speaking to himself. "Cache memory conflict. Pending transaction buffer not cleared before reboot." The room fell silent. 20 engineers froze mid-action, turning toward him as if he had spoken in an alien language. Jeffrey narrowed his eyes. "What did you just say?" Malik, shrugging casually, said, "The crash is because you tried rebooting the primary server without clearing the transaction buffer first." He placed the lunch boxes neatly on the table, his calmness contrasting sharply with the chaos around him. A stunned engineer, Gideon Fry, whispered, How does he know that?" Jeffrey let out a sarcastic laugh, stepping closer, towering over Malik. "Very funny. Do you even know what you're talking about, boy? Go back to your deliveries. This is work for men who understand systems, not someone trying to play hero." The other engineers chuckled, shaking their heads. Bradley Hensley, a senior system architect, crossed his arms. "This isn't a broken toaster. This is an infrastructure system moving millions of dollars. You don't get it." Malik, unwavering, adjusted the strap of his backpack. His brown eyes held a serenity so unnerving that even the most arrogant engineers felt a chill. "If you follow my suggestion, the system will be back up in exactly 2 minutes. You'll see." Jeffrey laughed loudly, dismissive. 2 minutes? Boy, this system has been down for 3 hours, and 20 of my best engineers haven't fixed it. You really think a delivery kid is going to teach us something? Malik smiled faintly, a smile that carried weight beyond his years. "Watch and remember," he said softly. 3 days later, Jeffrey Alden couldn't shake the image of Malik calmly diagnosing the crash. 3 days had passed since the incident, and to Jeffrey's disbelief and humiliation, Malik had been right. The system had returned to normal exactly 2 minutes after his suggestion was followed. Yet Jeffrey's pride wouldn't allow him to admit it. A graduate of MIT with over 15 years in the industry, he could not accept that a delivery boy had solved a problem he and his team had failed to fix. David Simmons, a systems engineer, walked into Jeffrey's office with a sly smile. "I got his info," he said. "Malik Thompson, 22 years old, works for 3 delivery apps. Lives on the West Side." Jeffrey raised an eyebrow. "Dropped out of school?" David nodded. "Yes, 3rd year of computer science. Family couldn't afford tuition. Typical story, really. Dreams too big, structure too small." What Jeffrey didn't know was that Malik's dropout wasn't due to incompetence. His mother had been diagnosed with a severe heart condition, and Malik had to work multiple jobs to pay for her treatment. During this time, he taught himself advanced programming on a used laptop in the cramped bedroom he shared with her. While the engineers at Skyline Tech wasted years trying to impress clients with polished but flawed software, Malik had been building systems of his own. He had created route optimization algorithms that maximized earnings for delivery drivers, not by memorizing tricks, but by truly understanding logistics, code, and efficiency. Jeffrey's pride turned to malice. Determined to humiliate Malik, he contacted all the delivery apps Malik worked for, fabricating allegations of inappropriate behavior and disrespect toward clients. Within 24 hours, Malik's accounts were suspended. No explanation, no appeal. Income vanished. At home, Malik sat at the kitchen table, staring at his suspension notifications. His mother, Helen Thompson, still recovering from a recent surgery, noticed the trembling in his hands. "Honey, what's wrong?" she asked, her voice weak but caring. "Just a problem at work, Mom. I'll handle it," Malik said firmly, embracing her gently. That night, Malik opened his battered laptop and began coding again. Not delivery routes this time, he was building something much bigger. Every insult, every dismissal, every attempt to destroy him became fuel. Over the next 2 weeks, Malik led a double life. By day, he applied for low-paying jobs to support his mother. By night, he transformed into a programming prodigy, developing a security vulnerability analysis platform capable of scanning corporate systems and identifying critical flaws in real time. Meanwhile, Jeffrey and his team laughed about their victory over the delivery boy. Jeffrey recounted the story in meetings, boasting about how Malik had been taken care of. He never suspected that Jennifer Lang, a senior female engineer, had been discreetly recording the conversation. Jennifer had been one of the few voices defending Malik the day he solved the system crash, and now she was ready to act. That night, Jennifer contacted Malik through a private, encrypted message. "Hi Malik, I'm Jennifer. I work at Skyline Tech. I saw what happened to you. Can we talk?" Malik hesitated. Could it be a trap? Yet something in her sincerity made him agree to meet at a small coffee shop. After hearing the recorded evidence, Malik's jaw tightened. "He really did that?" Jennifer nodded. "And he bragged about it. But here's something more. These are the contact details of all major clients relying on Skyline Tech systems. If you prove he's incompetent and biased, you can start fixing things. For real." Malik began implementing the first phase of his plan. Using Jennifer's contacts, he created credible personas and offered free security audits to major corporate clients. Every flaw he uncovered was real, many originating from Skyline Tech's own system failures. Malik's audits sent shockwaves through the corporate world. By the next week, multiple clients were discovering catastrophic vulnerabilities in systems they had trusted Jeffrey to maintain. At home, Helen watched as her son typed furiously at 3 a.m., surrounded by medical bills and papers. "You've hardly slept. What is all this?" "Fixing what should have been fixed a long time ago, Mom. And proving something at the same time," Malik replied calmly. Within days, Skyline Tech clients were calling Jeffrey in panic. Megacorp, one of their largest clients, demanded an explanation. "Mr. Alden, an independent audit shows critical flaws in your systems. Flaws you assured us didn't exist. And the auditor is Malik Thompson. Do you know him?" Jeffrey's hands trembled slightly. "I'll investigate immediately," he stammered. Simultaneously, Jennifer sent a company-wide email titled "Transparency and Integrity." She detailed how Jeffrey had sabotaged Malik's career out of prejudice and how those same system flaws had cost clients millions. The email spread like wildfire. Media outlets picked up the story, Social media erupted, and for the first time, Jeffrey felt the consequences of underestimating someone he dismissed as inferior. Malik arrived at Skyline Tech's offices with a lawyer and journalists, officially contracted by the board to perform a full security audit. Jeffrey, flustered and desperate, ordered security to remove him. "I'm authorized," Malik said, opening his laptop. "Let me show you everything." He displayed 23 critical vulnerabilities, complete with logs and error codes, evidence that Jeffrey's team had overlooked due to incompetence and arrogance. The journalists filmed it live. "Your audits were superficial. Your decisions prioritized ego over security. Competence isn't measured by degrees or status. It's measured by results," Malik said, addressing the stunned executives. By the end of the week, Skyline Tech had lost over half of its contracts, and Jeffrey faced lawsuits for defamation, racial discrimination, and gross negligence. 6 months later, Malik Thompson stood in his new office atop a skyscraper in Midtown Atlanta, overseeing Secure Systems Consulting, a cybersecurity firm he had built from scratch. His company had grown exponentially, attracting clients who had once relied on Skyline Tech. Jennifer Lang had joined him as Director of Operations. 17 new contracts this month," she said. 3 are former Skyline clients." Malik smiled, not a smile of revenge, but of purpose. "It's not about them. It's about showing that talent and integrity matter more than color or status." Meanwhile, Jeffrey Alden struggled to rebuild his career. His reputation ruined, most former colleagues and clients avoided him entirely. Malik had turned humiliation into mastery, injustice into opportunity, and prejudice into a movement proving that competence has no color, social class, or origin. Secure Systems Consulting now employed 50 people, many of them talented professionals who had been overlooked or underestimated by traditional corporate structures. Malik had created more than a business. He had created a platform for justice, innovation, and equity. A year after the fateful system crash, Malik was invited to speak at the National Technology Summit, the same event where Jeffrey had once been a celebrated keynote speaker. Malik would speak on how diversity and technical excellence are inseparable, challenging companies to rethink whom they listen to and trust. His mother, Helen, entered his office, a cup of coffee in hand. "You've gone 3 levels above him, Malik. From delivery boy to leader." Malik hugged her. "It's never about levels, Mom. It's about proving that brilliance exists everywhere, and sometimes the world just needs a little wake-up call."